You'll have sex with men, women, animals, and kitchen appliances.
And whatever else you might happen upon.
Pansexual, and that'll come into play later in his life. But like I said, he began reading about occultism and mysticism around that time in the late 1800s, 1890s, almost the turn of the century, 1900. And he was actually expelled from that Cambridge University for catching gonorrhea from a prostitute.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Oopsies. So that's kind of funny. It's a funny thing to be expelled for.
Yeah. How does word of that even get out?
Oh man. Well, that's one of the things with Victorian era. It's like everybody is gossiping like it's nobody's business, right?
Yeah, but if you get a dose of the clap, is that the clap? Gonorrhea is the clap, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, you get the clap. I mean, it's not like you're telling a lot of folks.
They can hear it, probably.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and since, there's not a lot of antibiotics available, I mean, but maybe people just figure it out because you're walking weird. I don't know.
You know what? We'll have to do more research.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't research gonorrhea enough for this.
Oh, man.
Moving on.
So then after getting his taste of some occultism and things, he gets into this fraternity, this secret society, if you will, known as the Golden Dawn. And that happens in 1898. He was initiated into the Outer Order of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn was a magical order in Great Britain, which practiced theurgy, which was practice of rituals, and they were performed with the intention of invoking action or the presence of gods.
But how many of those were there? Because, I mean, you couldn't swing a dead cat between, 1800 and 1900 in England without there being a secret society, a sect of the Masons.
Yep. And dead cats were being swung with abandon.
Hellfire clubs happening, there was so much of that stuff going on. And, I mean, was it just rich board aristocracy?
That's the thing. It was. I mean, for this one at least, it was exclusive upper class people that were getting into it.
It's because working class people have better things to do at their time.
Like work.
Yeah. Not starved to death.
Yeah.
Scurvy's still a threat at this time. Not crossed off the list yet.
So, yeah, everything was a threat at this time. Looking outside, out the window was a threat. But people like W.B. Yeats were in this thing. Bram Stoker, who before researching this a little bit, I had no idea that Bram Stoker was Irish. Go figure.
Yeah.
I guess I thought he was Transylvanian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought he was.
I didn't even think about it. So Bram Stoker, Irish author, was in the Golden Dawn, and it had other intellectuals and artistes of the day in there. And this is when he started embracing that Beast title that his mother bestowed on him and began calling himself the Beast 666.
Now, were these orders, were these the counterculture to the repressive Protestant environment, or was this just concurrent with it? I mean, the same way current Masonic rites, these are still church-going guys, but then they'll put on a robe and do secret handshakes. Did it run concurrent with or in opposition to the established church of the time? I mean, I'm going to go with an opposition too, given all the weird shit.
The thing is, I think it's very much in opposition because they were all about science as a form of spiritual awakening and spiritual awakening as a form of science kind of thing, blending the two to get the logic and the basically bettering humanity through spiritual awakening kind of stuff, whereas they felt like whatever was going on at the time, religious or government-wise, was oppressing people. So yeah, I think it was definitely in opposition to that. Because
there are photographs of him back in that time, and they're wear this consistently sort of Egyptian headdress style of robe, which was I guess before lab coats were invented. We're doing science. Get my lion pelt. Get
my cape and cowl. Well, science during the day, crime fighting at night. I don't
Where's
know.
my metric scepter?
But the funny thing is, even with all that, he thought that they weren't taking their magic seriously enough, and the Golden Dawn practiced magic spelled MAGICK.
Oh, yeah.
Not David Copperfield magic, where you make a tank disappear. And
You actually have to put a pinky out and adopt some sort of accent when you say it with the CK.
Right. Magic. Oh. I don't know. You have to be George Takei to say
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he thought that they weren't taking it seriously, so he kind of got disillusioned with it. There was some rifts that were going on, some infighting in there anyway, so the Golden Dawn kind of fell apart in a way. He kind of left. It was kind of like one of these, all right, this is done for now.
He was in the outermost order at this time of the Golden Dawn. He was like in the mail room. He was the entry level.
Well, he did that, and then he got in good friends with one of the founders, the leaders of the Golden Dawn, who then kind of bumped him up in the hierarchy,
middle management,
and it kind of, that's what helped the rift, because the guy, I think his last name was Mather, maybe, he bumped him up without the consent of, I don't know, it was one of these like backdoor, I'm getting out of here, so here's one of the fingers that I'm gonna give to everybody else. Aleister Crowley, now 8th level to
now he's your
initiate.
boss.
Yeah.
Enjoy the break room, bitches.
So that all kind of fell apart. But Aleister still wanted to do magic. He really put a lot of effort into this, and he turned mostly to black magic to do it as well. And in reading all about this guy, he did everything just to the nth degree. Like he was not going to hold back. Whatever he was going to do, he was going to do it right. You know what I mean? And he wanted to do this particular spell called the Abramelin, which was it was this 6-month ritual, and it was I think basically to master demons. It was this real. It was something that if you talked about it to other people who practiced even a little black magic, they were like, "No, dude, I'm not going to touch that. That stuff is not for me." So he was
pretty hardcore. He was
hardcore.
Genuinely his father's son in that he found his faith and then was like, and all you guys aren't doing it right.
Yeah. And so he used some of this inheritance fortune to purchase a house in Scotland, actually on the shores of Loch Ness. And the house is Boleskine House, is what it's called. And he started this Abramelin spell, this 6-month ritual. And it was something that pretty much, you have to have an iron will and like a husky pulling a dog sled to do this thing. It took up so much time.
But this is a great subject for another discussion. But where does this come from? Where did he find it?
Oh, yeah, that's from what I read. It was stuff that people had either put together, since this order had begun. They're like, oh, here's some spells. We're gonna put this together. Here's some things that we're gonna do, and maybe some junk from other cultures.
Do you think could you kind of game it and be like, like the what is it called, the milk gallon challenge, where you try to make a gallon look like
in an hour?
You do the milk gallon challenge every day for 3 months, and you'll summon a demon.
And there's a demon.
It's sort of ostensibly
the demon
possible.
Is your bowels coming out of it.
You're summoning a demon every day, 20 minutes after the challenge. But,
I don't know.
That's the thing. Do you think they... there's no way to know, but I get the feeling like you make up something that is just so onerous that everyone's like, I'm just not going to do it. But no, at the end of that, you get a demon.
It's true, and that's a very good point. It's like these spells have to come from somewhere, and I don't think that there was like books like around in other cultures that had like, here's how to summon demons, here's how to bake a cake, here are all these magic spells that you can do.
You've summoned lactose intolerance.